Hey, so what story are you telling yourself? Is your story empowering you or is your story disempowering you? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Deliberate Life stream. I'm Rosemary Non-Unite and RNK for short. And I help you to prosper in all areas of life, relationships, money, the work that you do, and your health, okay? Now, this is the thing. What is the story that you're basing your life on? Our affirmation this week in this community has been, the divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. Now, that is a story that you can tell yourself, okay? It's a story I've been telling myself since I was born. Sometimes to better effect than others. Let's sing this. The divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. The divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. And again, the divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. Choose to live in trust. The divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. Okay, so that is our affirmation for the week. And it's a story that you tell yourself, okay? Now, some people choose to live in a story, in a world where their story is that they're alone on the universe, that somehow something happened, it was all by chance, and oh my gosh, what's the point? That's my thinking, actually, if you believe that particular story. But we in this community, we believe that there's something more out there, that actually even cares for us in some way, okay? Now, for me, it's a very personal thing. I call him Papa. For you, it may be a universe or a higher power or something not quite so personal, but there's this feeling that you're not alone. And it's a story that we tell ourselves, okay? Now, to me, it's a story that is real. To you, it's possibly a story that is real, but it also starts to influence the life that you create. If you do have if the divine is your instant, constant, unlimited source, suddenly life is not, whatever happens, there's this feeling that, you know what? Things are going to work out for my good, somehow. I don't completely see it right now, but I know, because of the story that I've chosen for my life, that the universe or the higher power is actually going to be taking care of me. Now, I've had that story for ever. Okay, I've had that story forever. However, there have been times when I've found it really hard to hold on to the story. And so then suddenly I'm on my own trying to figure stuff out, trying to understand why bad stuff happens and all of that going on. And maybe you felt that way too. And then your story becomes more about being alone, more about wondering when is the breakthrough going to come, more about being scared that if you try and step out and do something unusual, then, or not like what you've been doing, like for instance, I help people with stepping into their purpose. But if your story is one of you're alone in this, and if you don't take care of stuff, then nobody will take care of stuff, and oh my gosh, then you won't be able to do the work of stepping into your purpose. You won't. You'll just stay stuck in place. I've had lots of people where this happens, where they can't buy into a new story. But this is the thing, we have the power to buy into a story. And in fact, one of the stories that comes to mind actually is me, when I was thinking about this live stream, was the story of Mary and Jesus and Joseph, okay, the whole Christmas story, and how this angel appears to Mary and tells her that she's going to be pregnant, and then she is, but then Joseph gets a different end of the stick here, because he's supposed to be marrying this lady who's now telling him that he's pregnant, and he knows that he hasn't slept with her. So his story is she is promiscuous, and oh my gosh, what? But then his story switches. Because, angel appears to him, tells him, look here, it is actually of God. Now, I know, what I'm trying to say here is not necessarily about that story particularly, but it's about you. It's about the fact that you get to choose your story. For some of us, especially in this community, for all of us, there's usually something that you've overcome. Now, you can tell yourself a story of things always go wrong for me. Because, look at my story. Look at everything that's happened to me. Things are always going wrong for me. I can never seem to catch a break. And that is a story that you can choose to build your life on, for sure. It's a very disempowering story. It's a story that will not enable you to step forward and move into the purpose of your life or live to your true design. But it's a story that you can choose to live to. Another way of looking at the story is that, hey, I am an overcomer. Yeah, stuff has happened to me, but I have overcome every single thing. I am more powerful than I give myself credit for sometimes. And can you see how the same situation can be dealt with differently? And one story, the first initial story of, oh, things always go wrong for me, will one, keep you stuck in place, thinking that everything is going to be working against you, thinking that everybody's out to get you in some way. It's like, I have to talk about this. I have a miracle experiment, which is completely free, which I do at the moment, yeah? And I'm showing people how to open themselves up to prosperity because I've learned simple principles, which I'm now teaching other people because I feel called and led to do this. So I offer people the opportunity to come and do this whole free thing. And then I get people's like, how much is it? And what was it? Why you said it was free and now I have to pay for something. And it's like, no. You signed up for the free thing. You signed up for another free thing, and then I gave you the option of buying something if you want to. And all you can see is that. And it's because of the underlying story. It's because of people's underlying story. If you are looking, if your story is that everything is out to get you, this universe is a very horrid place, if your story is that things are always hard for you, if your story is that because you are black, yellow, red, who knows what, life is always a bit harder for you and you always have to work a bit harder than everybody else because you were born in a certain place. No. If that is your story, you will find proof for it every freaking day. You will find proof for it every day. Okay, every day. You will find proof for it. You will find proof to stay down, to stay stuck, to stay scared, to stay looking for somebody that is going to scam you. You will find what you're looking for, always. However, what if your story is, you know what, the universe is always looking out for me. Oh my gosh, I've come across this video from this random Rosemary girl. Maybe this is the divine trying to get my attention. Let me go try this thing out. And imagine that was your story. Let me just give you the link to that just in case you decided that could become your story. Imagine that was your story and then you went and tried things out, okay? And it doesn't have to be this, you could try other things out and suddenly realize that actually, because you will find what you're looking for. You will find what you're looking for. If you're looking for someone to scam you and put you down, you will find it. If you're looking for someone, and I know we're not always conscious of these stories that we're telling ourselves, okay? Even I have to pay attention to what story am I telling myself right now that is causing me to feel this way. Okay, that is causing me to feel scared, that is causing me to feel down, that is causing me to feel happy. Well, when I'm happy, I don't really care about the story. It's an empowering story, so it's great. But if I'm feeling emotionally yuck, there's always a story I'm telling myself. There's always something in the background somewhere that I'm telling myself. And if I can shift that, if I can get rid of that story or change it to something more empowering, I can literally change my life. Literally change my life. I was saying to the awesome people in the miracle experiment this morning that, you know what, neuroplasticity, it's an actual science as far as I can tell, where actually your brain rejigs itself, your brain renews itself, dependent on the stories you are telling yourself. You can actually change your brain. So we don't even need to get super woo-woo about it, although firstly for me it's a spiritual thing as well as a very practical thing. You can literally change your brain. And by changing your brain, you start to notice different things. So this is I'm trying to be as practical as possible here, because sometimes people think, no, you're just trying to live in a bubble. You're trying to avoid reality. No, you are creating your reality by what you tell yourself. The story you tell yourself is determining your reality. You know what? When I was depressed and just gone bankrupt, my story was that good things happened to everybody else. They did not happen to me. And so that became my reality. If my story, finally my story did change to, you know what, I had a blip, but I overcame. So you know what, I'm stronger than I think. And so that became my new story, which meant I'm here speaking to you. If not for that change in story, I would still be there feeling depressed, thinking that the world is against me, thinking that everything works for everybody else, and it must be because I'm black. Or something. I hardly ever think like that, but I could have found a reason to. Why? because I was believing a disempowering story. In some ways, it doesn't even matter whether it's true or false. Does it empower you or does it disempower you? That is the only question. Does it help you or does it hinder you? The story you are telling yourself, it may seem so real. But is it helping you or is it hindering you? Because honey, you are more powerful than you realize, whether you like it or not. Whether you are feeling powerful or not feeling powerful, you are deliberately creating your life right now. So you can choose to create your life with a more empowering story, or you can keep telling yourself a sad story. It is your choice. And for me, my story is, and I would encourage you to join me for that story, which is the divine is my instant, constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. I don't need to do anything I don't want to do just because of money, because I know that the divine is my instant, constant, unlimited source. And in fact, it's only as I live to my true design, this is a story that I tell myself and has become my reality. It's as I live to my true design, I get to live in abundance. I get to experience prosperity in all areas of my life because I'm living to my true design. Now, you can choose to tell yourself a different story and that will be your reality. What stories are you telling yourself? Now, there's an invitation right there to join me for the free, simple 7-day miracle experiment. And you get to tell yourself a story of, it's just some kind of woo-woo craziness. And I want to, and then she's out to get me, or she's out to get my money or something. You can tell yourself that story and you can stay stuck where you are. Basically. Or you can tell yourself a different story that, you know what? The divine put me here right now, listening to this right now. So I will actually act on the opportunities that present themselves to me. I'm ready to shift. I'm ready for a change. And well, I can trust that actually if I'm seeing something right now, it's because I am supposed to be seeing it right now. So let me act on it. Okay. That can be your story as well. It can be, you can choose to tell a story that hinders you or choose to tell yourself a story that helps you. Okay. So that's that. I just want you to think about the stories you're telling yourself, because one story keeps you from prosperity, another story opens you up to so much prosperity you won't even know. You can't even imagine it, okay? And there's something coming up in this community where I'm going to be working with people for like 3 to 4 hours, an intensive thing to help you change the stories you're telling yourself. I haven't decided what to call it yet, but it is going to be an intensive where I help you dig deep into what is this story? Because you know what? Sometimes it's as easy as changing a story. Absolutely. You can just do it consciously and you do it. But there are times when it's like I speak to a lot of people who there's a deeper thing going on here. Maybe it's from your childhood, maybe whatever. I'm not one for, I don't believe in victims. We're not victims. We can choose to change our outlook on life. We can choose whatever our parents did or didn't do or what has happened whenever. We can change that, okay? And in changing that, it enables you to then do the things that you actually want to do. I've been speaking to a lot of people recently, and the thing that holds them back is the story that they're telling themselves, because they've been stuck in a story for so long. And sometimes those stories are even passed down generationally, okay? The same stuff keeps happening. It's almost like you're repeating your parents' life. And it's time to break free. It's time to break free. And so, yes, I work with you. I get guidance. Okay, so if you're not into, the divine God, higher power, all of that stuff, you probably don't want to do this with me. But if you are, and you know that there's more than just us on this planet, and you want to get clear of a story that has been keeping you stuck for too long, you want to shift, okay? You're ready to step into the life that you know you're born for, because we all know that prosperity is our divine right? We all know that abundance is our heritage if we will step into it, okay? So sometimes the thing that stops you from stepping into it is the story you're telling yourself. And so yes, spend 3-4 hours with me. I haven't decided on what it's called yet, so you can send me a private message, and as soon as I have the details, I will get them across to you. But all I know is that it's going to be very personal to each person, okay? We're going to be working through your stuff. In that 3-4 hours, you will experience a massive transformation, okay? I expect to go very deep with you. I expect to get incredible guidance for you, to be able to prophesy over you where necessary to step into the next thing for you, okay? So if that is of interest to you, then you might probably want to send me a private message, because what I'm going to do as well is the first time I do it, it's going to be a really good investment. Well, it's always going to be a great investment level. It's just going to be at a lower version, and then it's going to increase as I do it, okay? So the quicker you get on board, the quicker you will find out, well, the quicker, the more cost effective it will be for you at the beginning, okay? It's not always going to be that way. But whenever I'm starting something new, I like to offer it at a more cost effective level and then go up, okay? So send me through a private message. I will get the details to you as soon as I know the full details. It feels as if I'm downloading it this morning. So I'll tell you the details as soon as I know. But if you know you're fed up of being stuck and you're ready to actually shift, it's not for everybody. It's for those that are ready to move, okay? Because I'm very blunt. If you've spoken to me recently, you know that I will just tell you what is what. I want to make sure we get to the root of what is holding you back as quickly as possible, okay? So I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to help you heal, okay? Okay, we can do it over the phone. If you're in the UK and you want to come over to me, you can come over to me. And depending on if I'm traveling, you can come and meet me wherever I am. But for right now, if that sounds of interest to you, then send me through a private message. I'll get the details to you as soon as I have them. In the meantime, if you haven't done the free, simple 7-day miracle experiment, it's free. Go and join in. Okay? It's at rosemarynonnynight.com/experiment. It is time to change your story, because, honey, you are born right here, right now, for a reason. There is no mistake about you, okay? Now, the stories you tell yourself, because you have free will, the stories you tell yourself will either keep you stuck in a life less than what you're capable of, or they will empower you to the big vision you have for your life in any area of your life, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your wealth, whether it's your money, whether it's your health, okay? You are born to experience prosperity in all of those areas, but it's up to you. It's up to you to see opportunities, which sometimes is hard to do if you're believing a sad story, okay? So it's time for you to shift that story. And you know what? The experiment will start you off. If you're ready to go deeper, then let's work together one-on-one, 3-4 hours, really go deep over the phone, over Skype, or in person. Let's make this thing happen. I'll send out the details as soon as I have them. So private message me for that. Okay, guys. Let's sing this affirmation to bring it to a close. The divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. The divine is my instant, my constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. Okay, so take that into your day. The divine is my instant, constant, unlimited source. I choose to live in trust. Much amazing love. Until the next time, okay? Change that story to something more empowering. Much love.